I'm going to show you a technique of how to hold the bow called Bunny Eats the Chocolate Frog. This is a fun technique that really works, especially with young children, but for anyone struggling with their bow hold, this will really help correct a lot of problems. One of the most common things that I see in holding the bow is this position with straight, stiff fingers, and the bunny hold will try to correct that problem. And I also see in young children the tendency to either hold it like a baseball bat or to hold the bow too high up on the stick. And all of those things will prevent a good sound for your bow. And so it starts out with making something we call bunny hand, and this is a common technique that Suzuki teachers will use. So if you just try this with me, I'm going to mirror you. Hold up your right hand, your bow hand, and you're going to fold the thumb over to your palm, and then take your middle two fingers and fold them over your thumb. And if that feels awkward at first, just try it a few times and eventually you'll get it. Thumb over to the palm, two middle fingers over the thumb. And this is our bunny. And I like to wiggle the ears, and for kids it's fun to think about pretending if you've seen an animal twitch their ears one way and then another, listening to sounds. We can pretend if the bunny is excited, what would happen to the ears, and if the bunny is sad, what would happen to the ears, and just spend some time developing this independent wiggly ears. This is very important and will become even more important later as we're trying to work with the bow. Notice also that the bunny has long teeth, and the teeth are folded over at this middle knuckle in here. And this is where the knuckles are going to touch the stick. So it's important to really have long teeth for our bunny. And then you're going to bring the bow up, and you can hold the bow in the middle here. Mom or dad, this is good for you to help by taking the bow, hold it parallel to the ground, and you're going to bring it right up underneath their bunny. And this is where the bunny eats the piece of chocolate. Imagine this section here, this rectangle shape is like a piece of chocolate. And the bunny is just going to have a snack. So make your bunny hand and snarf, 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 right over that piece of chocolate. Now, you would never leave a piece of chocolate dangling halfway out of your mouth, would you? Same with our bunny. We don't want him to land here because look at the chocolate is still hanging out of his mouth. We want his teeth to wrap all the way down to the edge of the frog. Get that chocolate in his mouth. If you go all the way over like this, that's too far. But we just want to have that bunny hand sink over that frog, and this corrects the problem of holding the stick up here, which prevents a good deep tone. Okay, so let's try that one more time. We're going to make our bunny hand, fold the thumb over, two middle fingers, and now we're going to bring the bow up underneath and place the bow up underneath where the thumb was. And you're just going to take your thumb, slide it out, and put it in this window right here. So you'll see the thumb is touching right near the thumb grip, the corner of the frog, and in between the thumb grip where there's a little space. Different bows look different here, but you can see where I'm touching. For little kids, many times they can touch down here is fine. This is an okay place to be able to touch the bow hair because we don't need to make a sound using that. If you are having problems with tightness and tension in this muscle here, grabbing or squeezing the bow, if you're trying to get rid of that habit, this is a great exercise to take your thumb out and just wiggle it around and then just rest it here and see if you can maintain that rested hand position. So once you practice this a few times, and I would practice this 5 or 6 times with mom and dad holding the stick here and starting over, make bunny hand, start from the beginning and make bunny hand fresh each time, and then bunny eats the chocolate frog. Do that enough times to where you can and get your thumb in this window, okay, until you can feel relatively comfortable with this position. The bow is too heavy to maintain this position for most people. So then you want to set it on your shoulder, or set it on the bed, or set it on the edge of the music stand, something to take the weight of the bow off of your hand. If you try to support the weight of the bow, you're probably going to do this with your hand, which I call mutant hand. This is our bunny position, and this is our mutant position, where you have now all of a sudden pointy knuckles, straight fingers, and very stiff, tense hand position. If that happens, you want to turn your hand a little, curl your pinky, curl your fingers, and this should be like a trampoline in here. If you take your thumb and place it under your palm, squeeze here, it should feel springy like a springboard or a trampoline. If you're having trouble placing your hand, one thing you can do is start out with the pinky here, and often I use a corn pad to designate a pinky house, or you can put a rubber band here, or a pad of some kind, a sticker of some kind, just to designate where that pinky is going to land, and then curl the two bunny's teeth around after that. Whichever way you do it, curling the teeth first and then the pinky, or placing the pinky first and then the fingers, just be sure that your fingers are staying curled over that frog and that you have this independent ear motion going that we practiced earlier. The main power of the bow is going to come from the bunny's teeth and the thumb. And so you'll notice I'm letting those ears spread out and touch, pinky landing on top, index finger landing in the middle knuckle here. Very common for students to try to straighten that finger and press in with this index. We want to always try to bring that finger into here and curl it around the stick. This curled position gives you nice, sensitive, but strong bow hold without having to press and force the tone, and also to be able to allow maximal agility in the fingers. So that's Bunny Eats the Chocolate Frog. Take some time to do this at the beginning of each practice session, and you'll notice a much better bow hold developing. Good luck.